Top of the morning, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Timothy Bradley. Timothy Bradley names the best fighter of his lifetime, and he states that we've never seen anything like him. Timothy Bradley, who has always been an admirer of Crawford, this week bestowed upon perhaps the highest praise possible. He said on an interview with Fight Hype, he said, "I believe in my man Crawford. I think he's different. I think we've never seen anything like him. In the sport, as long as I have lived, I can say that Crawford is a winner. He's physically strong. He's not normal. The dude is an alien." Those are the words of Timothy Bradley. And let me counterpunch. I think Terence Crawford is one of the ones. I think Terence Crawford is a guy that people are now starting to see and believe that is one of the best. I think the pound for pound, I don't think was really worthy enough due to the fact that he still hasn't had his dancing partner. If you think about it, Terence Crawford hasn't had that dancing partner to show that he is the best already, because he's already made light work of the guys that's supposed to be, like Errol Spence. Sean Porter gave him a tougher fight. Shout out to him. Shout out to Showtime. But still, he shut him down as soon as he thought that he was behind. Which that fight was stopped. Okay. Him being an alien, I think we already have one of those. Bernard Hopkins is the alien. If he's called the alien, he's the alien in the second coming. Alien Part 2. I think that Terence Crawford is the best of this era. I think he's just doing things differently. I always said that about Terence Crawford. I think Terence Crawford is a guy that people will have to keep seeing do things that he doesn't supposed to do, and the way that he does them will convince people without a shadow of a doubt that he is that man. And I do agree with Timothy Bradley. I think Terence Crawford is a guy, I think he can beat Canelo. I think that Jermell Charlo just didn't bring enough. I didn't think he tried the way he should have. If anything, that fight should have been undisputed versus undisputed. So, if anything, Jermell Charlo showed that his weight class wasn't as on fire, or the competition was as steep as Canelo's competition at 168. That's all that showed me. He was just the better undisputed champion. And that doesn't look good, because then you start looking at the weight classes. You start looking at 168. You start looking back down at 154, and you're like, okay, well, wait a minute. Is it a difference in the opposition? And then you would have to agree, yes. Okay. Because now you start to question, could Jermell Charlo do that to Plant? Could he do that to Callum Smith? Could he do that to Billy Joe Saunders? Could he do that to Rocky Fielding? Could he do that at anybody that he fought? And that's including Ryder, or that's including, who else did he fight down there? Just for shits and giggles, Golovkin. Could he do that to any of those guys? So you start questioning yourself at that point because of the performance or lack of performance by Jermell Charlo. However, Terence Crawford, I don't think he had less opposition at all. Because if you look at the guys that he's fought Errol Spence, he's fought Amir Khan, he's fought Carol Brook, he's fought Jose Benavidez, undefeated, Mean Machine, undefeated, Jeff Horn, which was the WBO champion, undefeated. Okay, he's beat all these guys. He's stopped all these guys or made them quit. Whereas Jermell Charlo, a lot of people thought Brian Castano beat him. Yeah, he got him in the second fight. He sure did. He got Tony Harrison in the second fight. But guess what? Tony Harrison outboxed this man with a jab the first fight. So you have to really start looking at opposition versus performance to have the outcome, to see who's the best, who is the quote-unquote alien. And I think it's Terence Crawford. I think Canelo Alvarez did what he's supposed to do, but he did really nothing that spectacular. He just did really a mediocre Canelo performance. Because the Canelo that I know 2 years ago would have stopped Jermell Charlo. He wouldn't have bullshitted him. He wouldn't have let him linger like he did John Ryder. Because that's what happened with John Ryder. He dropped John Ryder. He busted John Ryder's nose. But he lingered and he let that fight go the distance. The Canelo we knew from 2 years ago wouldn't have allowed that to happen. So I'm really not convinced that he hasn't slowed down. But Terence Crawford has shown no signs of that. So, therefore, I do agree with Timothy Bradley. He is the alien, the second coming. You guys tell me what you think of Timothy Bradley's prediction of Terence Crawford being the best of this generation. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!